Hi students, today I'm going to show you how to solve a quadratic equation by factoring the trinomial. So you want to use this method when your equation is actually in this form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And your a is going to be equal to 1, right? So we're doing the simple method. Next time I'm going to show you when a is not equal to 1. So let's do this first example here. So the direction says find the solutions. Remember, find the solution means get x by itself to equal some value, right? So we're supposed to factor this, right? So whenever you're factoring a trinomial, you're always going to end up with two factors that are binomials, and that's equal to 0, right? So you ask yourself, what are the first two things in each of these binomials I'm going to multiply to give me x squared? Well, it's always going to be x and x, right? And then you look at your last term, so that's your first term. X times x equal x squared. You look at your last term, which is 9. So you ask yourself, okay, which two numbers I can multiply to give me a 9? However, I have to worry about my middle term. My middle term is a 6x. So what multiply to give me 9 and also add to give me 6? So multiply to give me 9 and add to give me 6. Well, 3 and 3. Okay, 3 times 3 give me 9. 3 plus 3 give me 6. Okay, so both of these will be positive and positive because 3 times 3 give me positive 9, and then 3 plus 3 give me positive 6. So these are my two factors, right? These are my two factors, and according to the zero product property, these two factors are your A and your B. It says if two things multiply to equal 0, then each of them could be 0. So x plus 3 could be 0, and x plus 3 could be 0. Well, these are the same equation, so I don't have to solve both of them. I can just solve one of them. If I solve this one, I get x equal to -3. I move the 3 to the other side. And there is my solution. So notice there is only one value for x here, but it's actually two solutions. The solution just happened to be repeated. We call this double root, right? Double root. Double root meaning there's only one value, but it repeated two times, right? So x equal to 3 is your solution, okay? So here's another example. It says find the zeros of this given equation, okay? Find the zeros. Remember, zeros, roots, x-intercepts, and solutions, they all mean the same thing. So when the direction says find the zeros, it means find the solution. So because we have a trinomial, we're going to factor, right? So we're factoring. Remember, when you factor a trinomial, you're always going to go look like that, okay? So two set of parentheses with binomial inside of them, right? So the first two things in each of these binomial are going to be things that you multiply to give you x squared. So it's going to be x and x. X times x is x squared. And then look at your last one. Okay, you have to really ask yourself and consider what two numbers multiply to give me 5 and add to give me a -6. Well, the only two numbers that could multiply to give you 5 is a 1 and a 5. 1 times 5 is 5. However, we need it to be added together to give you -6. Well, the only way to do that is to get -1 added to a -5. So -1 and -5 will give me -6. So these become my factors, all right? So I have two factors, factor 1, factor 2. Factor 1 is equal to 0. Factor 2 could also equal to 0. Well, you can solve these individually. You get x equals to 1, one answer, and x equal to 5, another answer. These are your two solutions, or in other words, your two zeros of this function. All right, see you guys next time.